We're back with part 2 of how to get insane amounts of loot in 7 Days to Die 1.0. Let's get to it. We have an absolute ton of tier 3 locations to cover in this video, so I'm going to be going through things relatively quickly. If you have not seen part 1, go watch part 1. I'll link it down below. Otherwise, you're not going to understand the premise of this video and what exactly is going on here and what I've done. Then you're going to leave a silly comment down below and I'm going to respond to it, pointing out that you didn't watch episode 1. Our first location is a Poppin' Pills. It is the Poppin' Pills with the little blue icon there on the right side of the building. You're gonna head directly towards that icon and then you are just going to pillar your way up to the top. Now, when you get to the top of this thing, you must stay on the edge here. As long as you stay on the edge, you won't wake the zombies up. The loot is right there in the corner. You can access all of it from right here. You may have to crouch to get to some of the stuff that is lower down, like the medical supplies or the ammo. Next up, we have KLZ Radio. If you're staring at the sign of this building, you are going to head to the left side. You're going to look for a door. You're going to place down a block because you want to go 1 block over from the brick wall, and you are just going to dig out the wall directly in front of you at head height. Then you're going to pop around the corner and look for the cigarette sign, and then directly below that to the bottom right of the sign, you want to dig that block out as well. From there, you should be able to access all of the loot from both of those holes. Bob's Boars and Carl's Corn is super easy. If you're facing the front of the house, you are going to head around to the left side of the house and look for the cage that's marked Grace. You're going to get on top of the cage and then dig a hole through the top. This is the easiest part to dig a hole through because it's only 1,000 hit points. Once you fall through, hit the key in order to open the door so you can get back out, then drop down the hole and the loot is right there. Location number 4 is OK Laundry. You're going to head around to the back side of this building. When you look up at the top, you are going to see 6 windows split into 2 sets of 3. You want the set that is on the left. You are going to look at the middle window, look down, trace your way down the building, go out 1 block, and then build a pillar up from there. Right before you get to the top, you want to make a stop. There should be an open window there with a crate in it. You can bust that crate and loot that, and then continue to head your way up to the top. From there, you can access all of the loot. You will most likely have to break the metal table in order to get both of the crates there on the right side. Now listen to me very carefully. Do not attempt to get any closer than what the pillar that you are standing on will allow you to get. The area that activates the zombies is right to the edge of this building. You cannot stand on the rim of the building or anything. You can only stand on your pillar and don't move too far forward. For Mason Farms, you are once again going to head to the left side, look for the little shed there that's right beside the house. You want to get on top of that shed. From that shed, you are going to make your way on top of the house to the roof. You'll see a large opening there. Just to the left of that opening, 1 block over, you want to dig a little hole in order to get into the area there as you see me doing in the video. Now, as long as you stay in that 1 block radius there, hugging the wall, so basically don't go past that AC that you see there, you can walk in here and not activate any of the zombies, and you can get all of the loot and then get back out. If you step down off of the boxes or the AC or the air duct or any of that and stop hugging the wall, you will instantly activate all of the zombies. Facing the Crack-a-Book, Crack-a-Cafe, you are going to head to the right side all the way around back. You will see a metal door that is locked. What you want to do is break the block directly in front of you to the right of that door. From there, you will be able to activate the key rack, which will open that door. Now, do not step foot inside. If you cross the threshold of the door, you will wake the zombies. As long as you do not cross the threshold of the door, you can loot the containers that are right there in front of you. There's not a whole lot of loot that you can access in this one. It's all kind of spread out in there. However, you can get the main loot box. The Senor Drogas Residence is very easy to get to the loot. You're gonna head to the front of the house and then put a block directly at the base of the stairs and then come out 1 more from that. From there, you're gonna pillar straight up off of that 2nd block that you place until you get to the roof. When you get to the roof, you're gonna come down 2 blocks from that initial peak there where you jumped onto the roof at. And then you're gonna dig out the middle and then you're gonna dig out both sides. So it should be 3 blocks in front of it there like you see me doing. From there, you can access all of the loot. You may or may not wake the zombies in there, but it won't really matter because they can't get to you. If they do wake up, just loot relatively quickly. And I say you may or may not because I had some situations when testing this where they did wake up and others where they didn't. Sneaking may help. Moving on to the Passing Gas Plaza. Do not walk into the parking lot. You will trigger a bunch of zombies to wake up. Stay to the right side. Run around back. You can see the loot there in the first window that you pass. Once you get around back, you will see a window there. You are going to put down blocks and mark out 2 from that window, and then you're going to start to dig right in front of your face. Knock that block out, you can see that the loot is right there. There's a crate on your left up on a table, and there is some loot on top of that crate as well. It may get a little tricky trying to get a hold of that loot, but you should be able to do it if you don't want to have to take out the second block there to your left. And if you're trying to break the crate so that you can access it, I advise aiming for the top corner. For the OPS distribution center, we are once again going to be heading around to the back. Once you get to the back, you will see a wall, and just on the other side of that wall, about a level up, you will see a door with a balcony on it. You want to make your way to that door with the balcony. I highly suggest if you do not have parkour, because you can just jump over there if you have parkour following the path I'm going to show you, just build some blocks up onto the wall and then connect the blocks to that air duct right in front of you that you see me connecting blocks to. Then you can walk right across there. You're going to do this because it just helps to ensure that you don't trigger any zombies. And then you're just going to jump over to that platform, knock out the door, and then you can get in there to all of the loot. Now there is a zombie here that you can trigger, but you only trigger if you get too close to the walkway that leads over to that little room. So just avoid that walkway. He drops out of that vent right there above that walkway. I assume he's just supposed to drop on you as you're walking across the walkway to get to the loot. But as long as you don't cross that path, you will be fine. You won't wake any zombies. When staring at what I assume is the front of COC Chemicals, you will see a concrete wall to your right. You're going to follow that concrete wall around. As soon as you see where that concrete wall ends and connects to the building, you want to place a single block down. This is your marker. You want to knock out the wall directly in front of you to the right of where you just placed that block. Then you're going to place a block inside the hole, but not all the way inside the hole. You want it to stick out just a little bit so that you can jump on top of it. Once you have jumped on top of it, you are going to take out 2 more blocks in front of you so that you can clearly and easily see and access all of the loot there to the left side. Now, warning, do not step off of the block that you placed. You are right on the edge of the line that activates the zombies. Be very, very careful here. There are a ton of zombies in there and you don't want to wake them up. As long as you don't step too far inside and step off the block that you placed, you should be fine. It's funny how easy it is to get to the loot in Jack's lumber mill. So if you're staring at the front, you are going to run around to the right side and you will see a window directly above some corrugated roofing. You want to make your way up to that window like you see me doing in the video. Once you get up there to that window, you just want to knock the window out and the loot is right there. Do not step too far in past the window. You will wake up the zombies, but yeah, you can easily access all of the loot right there from the window with no problem. Here we have our second pass and gas plaza. Apparently there is more than one. You want to head to the right side of the building and we're not going to go all the way around back. You will see an electrical box there. You want to dig out directly to the left of that electrical box and then one right above that. Then you're going to go to the right of the electrical box and you're going to dig that out and one right above that as well. These blocks don't have too many HP, so it's not too big of a deal to knock out those blocks, and you can see you can access all of the loot from here. You can get pretty close to the edge here, but don't step all the way inside. You're fine as long as you stay basically inside of the wall. Moving on, we have the Scarecrow Fields. You're going to see a big red barn. Head straight for the front of the big red barn. There's a window up above. You're going to pillar your way up to that window, knock that window out, and then head on in and grab the loot. You will wake the zombies. There's a bunch of them in here. However, they won't be able to get to you very quickly, so you'll have plenty of time to get the loot and then get back out and get away from them if you don't want to fight them. Next, we have the downtown Meltdowns. For this one, you're going to head to the left of the building and then 1 block past the corner on the right side of the very first window. You're going to take out 2 blocks, the one right in front of you and the one directly below it. You're going to actually end up taking out 4 blocks in total because it has a plate facing block on it, which is that wooden block. So you need your axe and then you swap over to the pickaxe for the block behind it. Once you've done that, then you are going to head to the left side of that large window and you are going to take out the block that is right next to the window that is head height. You're going to loot the bag that is on the table and then you are going to loot the medical supplies right behind that, and then you want to take out your axe and destroy the booth that is in front of the crate. This allows you to access the crate on the other side of the booth. You can then loot both of those crates. Then you want to place a block down right directly in front of the block that you just knocked out. This lets you see up above so that you can get that pile of ammo that is behind the block without having to take out another block. Then you want to head back over to the large hole that you dug so that you can step inside of it. Don't step further than just inside of it. Don't go past that trash can that's there, and you want to stay stay as close to hugging the wall that you possibly can, otherwise you will wake up the zombies. The trigger area to summon the zombies is just on the other side of that trash can. As long as you don't go too far in, you won't trigger them. But since you knocked out the booth, that's not going to be an issue because you can now easily get to the main loot box. For the Journey's End Lodge, you are going to head around back. You will see an air conditioner and a door with some spikes in front of it, and directly above that will be a balcony. Just pillar your way up to get on top of that balcony. Once you are up there, you are going to pick up the plant and destroy the table there in your way. Then you're going to knock out the 2 blocks directly in front of where the table was. This is going to allow you to access the loot. I do advise knocking out the top block first, getting all of the loot that you can reach by doing that, and then taking out the bottom block. The reason for this is the area that triggers the zombies to wake up is like partially in the wall, and if you step too far in, you could trigger the zombies. This prevents you from doing that. There's loot directly on the other side of this block, so we do want to break it, but you want to break it last. That way, if you trigger the zombies, you can run and you've already looted everything else in there and you're not giving up much loot. Or you can just fight the zombies, but I'm assuming in this entire video that you don't want to fight zombies at all. For the NDC Checkpoint number 2, you are going to see a sign that says A. You want to head to that sign, and then there is an electrical box there. To the right of the electrical box, you want to take out that block, and then take out the block that is directly next to that, and then take out the block that is directly below that. And then from there, you can access all of the loot inside. You can actually step a good way into the wall, just don't go past the wall and you won't wake any of the zombies. I'm not sure the Almeida Residence is worth it, considering you got to break through a ton of bulletproof glass to get to the loot, and that stuff is a pain in the butt, but I'm going to tell you how to do it anyway. You're going to head around back, you're going to see a pool and a table. You want to build out just one over top of the pool directly from that table, and then build your pillar up. That is going to put you right to where you need to be. You will see 2 separate windows. You want to start breaking out the window to the left that is directly in front of your face. You're going to need your axe first because they're covered in wood, and then you want to swap over to the pickaxe and start tearing at the bulletproof glass. Then you want to destroy the wall directly below that has 5,000 HP and is somehow easier to get through than the bulletproof glass. After you've done that, that will allow you to get to the crate that is closest to you and the desk. You want to loot the desk, then break the desk. That allows you to get to the stash that is behind the desk, as well as the ammo bag. At that point, you can actually step inside of this room, but do not step too far in. You want to make sure you're hugging the wall as tightly as possible. If you step too far in, you'll wake a bunch of zombies on the roof and they'll drop down on top of you. But if you hug the wall, you should be fine, and you'll want to do this so that you can access the other 2 crates. The Pantelli Residence is actually very easy to get to and kind of funny. So you want to head around back, you'll see a pool, and you'll see some metal like grates, I guess you could call them. Break those. There'll be some type of loot directly behind that. It's a bunch of random different stuff. This time it was ammo, but it's also been medical supplies. Then you want to break out the 2 blocks directly in front of you behind that ammo or whatever it was that you just looted, like you see me doing in the video. Then step inside the wall. Then break the block directly above you. Now, this allows you to jump just inside the wall. Do not go past the 2 shipping crates. They are your marker. If you step past them even just a little bit, you will trigger the zombies. But from this point, you can access all of the loot relatively easily from this point. The loot at the Poopy Pants Daycare is incredibly easy to get. So you will see the word Daycare on the left side and the right side. Head to the left side, and directly underneath of the D, you want to take out 2 blocks high so that you can jump up to the inside. Once you get inside, break the blinds out of the way, break that little chunk of wood there out of the way, and then you can access all of the loot that is inside there. Do not step past just inside of the wall. You have a 1 block radius inside of there that you can stand in without waking the zombies, but if you step too far in, you will definitely wake them. For Johnson's Warehouse, you want to head to the right side and you want to look up. You'll see some windows up there. You will see 1 set of windows that will have some chain link fence behind them. You want the set of windows that is directly to the left of the ones with the chain link fence. Then you want to pillar your way on up there, break your way into the window. Now you gotta loot very quickly. As soon as you step inside of here, you activate a bunch of zombies, but they can't get to you easily. They can eventually, but they have to tear through either a wall or a metal door. So you are on a time limit here. I highly advise going for everything but the main stash first, and then lockpicking the main stash last. This ensures that you get as much loot as you can, as quickly as you can, just in case you got a bolt because you don't want to fight the zombies. You can also put a block there on the top of the stairs to slow them down even more because they are going to come from down below. This can actually buy you some more time time if you are having issues picking the lock. For the hybrid energy station, you are going to head directly towards the sign and pillar your way up to the roof. Then you're going to walk along the roof until you see a little balcony that you can fall down onto. The reason we do it this way is because out there where all of the power lines and power stuff is, there's a bunch of zombies. This bypasses them and keeps them from waking up. Once you have done that and drop down onto the little platform there, you can just break through the door and then go in and loot. Nothing is going to wake up. There's no zombies in there. There's no nothing. You're free to take your time and loot as you please. For Ranger Station Golf, you are going to head to the left side. You will see a little chunk of building that is sticking out from the barbed wire fence. You want to pillar up to the top of that building, and then you want to pillar up off the edge of the building. You'll see like a little gray spot there in the roof. Just put a pillar down and pillar up from that spot till you get to the very top. That's where the break is. The reason you pillar at that spot is it allows you to easily jump to where the break is. From that point on, you are going to head to the right side where you see me going, and then you have the fun of breaking out some bulletproof glass. Once you have taken out that single block of bulletproof glass, you can easily access all the loot that is inside. Then you just want to make your way back out the way that you came in. Note, do not go into the main yard. It's full of dogs. As long as you stick to the roof and go out the exact way you came in, you won't have to fight any zombies. Next, we have the Junkville Saloon. It says post office and antiques and saloon. It's all one building. You're going to head around back. I just head to the left side and you will see a building that has like a little hole in the roof or near the roof on the side. You want to just dig out the wall directly in front of that, the fence there. And then you are going to step inside and dig out another set of metal wall that is directly in front of that. Now, I want to point out something here. This area here, the outside area, can spawn zombies. It happened one time in my testing. I tested this a bunch of times trying to figure out what was actually causing them to trigger, and it only did it one time. So I'm just giving you a warning here on this one. If you're trying to do this without fighting any at all, just skip this one because it can somehow, I couldn't figure it out, but they can actually spawn. But on this run here, it did not. As you can see, I was able to just loot all of it with no problem. There's a bunch of zombies in this building, but if you don't step foot inside the building, they won't actually spawn. The ones that woke up or spawned came from other buildings in that area. The Gully Residence is another very, very easy one. You just want to head to the front door. Once you get to the top of the stairs, pillar up, stop when you get to the first roof, and then you want to take out that bird that is there. There may be two. In this run, there was only one, so just keep an eye out for them. Bring a gun with you or a bow and just snipe them real quick. They should not wake up from you just pillaring. Then you want to move over to that roof and then pillar up again until you get to the main roof. Go all the way up to the main peak and then take out the block that you see me taking out there and just kind of work your way around there, taking out a couple of blocks, and then you can easily access all of the loot. This one's super easy to do because those wood blocks only have 500 HP. If you got a normal axe, then you should be fine. Take them out quick, get the loot, and then just go back out the way you came. The Grand Forks Estates is basically the same situation. You want to head to the front door. When you get to the top of the stairs, pillar up to the roof. When you get to the main roof, you want to build yourself a little bridge coming over so that you can jump on it from your main pillar. Head to the peak of the roof like you see me doing, directly above that little spot that's like torn out there or burnt or damaged or whatever, and you will see that there are some solid gray blocks where it's like shingles are missing. You just want to take out the blocks directly above those gray blocks, and then you can look down below you and you can access all of the loot from there. The Brett Residence is very similar. So there are two windows in the front. You want the window that is closest to the door. Build directly up in front of that window until you get to the main peak of the roof. Then you want to build out two from that main peak. That's going to be your marker for where you need to dig. Once you knock out that first block, then you want to take out the next two blocks to the right of it. You can see there's a bunch of zombies in there. They won't wake up. You're fine. As long as you don't step foot inside, you won't wake them. You can loot everything from the hole that you just created and then head back out the way that you came up. The Serrano Residence is a very tricky one, but a fun one. And honestly, I would advise just doing this one normally. But if you just want to get to the loot, just follow these instructions. You will see a wall wall with a gap in it. You want to go to the right side of that, and you should be able to nestle a block right in there like you see me doing at the edge of the wall. Then you want to build out diagonally 12 blocks. This is a marker. We're doing this to find a buried hatch. So once you have placed 12 diagonally out from that spot, then you want to go to the last block diagonally from that and dig directly down, and you will find the hatch that is below there. Dig out the dirt until you can get down to where the hatch is, and then on either side of the hatch, it really doesn't matter, just pick a side. You want to take out the blocks. It's 5,000 HP because it's a concrete block, but you need to take it out if you want to get the loot. Then there is a block directly below it that is 1,000 HP because it's just a metal block, and you're going to need to take that out as well. That allows you to slip over onto the ladder and then head on down. Once you get down to the bottom, you will see a door. You want to take out 2 blocks to the left of the door. They're only 1,000 HP a piece because they're metal, and then you want to head in to get the loot. Now listen very carefully. Don't run in towards the loot. You need to hug the wall. At all times, you need to hug the wall. The area that activates the zombies is 1 block in from the wall. So as long as you hug the wall, you should be fine. You can go a little bit forward if you need to, but just be very, very careful, and I advise sticking as close to the wall as possible at all times. You can actually work your way around the entirety of this room hugging the wall and never activate any of the zombies. There's zombies on both sides. As you see me looking at them, they're right there above you, and there are also some in the middle that will fall down out of a shaft there. They're probably going to be irradiated or some other crazy nonsense. So yeah, it's just hug the wall. You'll be fine. Get in, get all the loot, hug the wall back out, and go out the way you came in. And that, ladies and gents, and everything in between, that is all of the locations for this video. I told you there was a lot of them. There are a ton of tier 3 locations, but that covers them all between this video and the first one. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see me do some tier 4 loot locations, let me know down there in the comment section. And of course, if you found this video helpful and informational, please consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. And if you're looking for some more of my content, you can find a link to another one of my videos on the screen right now. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters for helping to keep these videos sponsor free. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to become an official channel supporter, check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.